tranquility. Roll up the weed and get high. I said peace, tranquility. Roll up the weed and get high. I said peace, tranquility.
Yeah.
Roll up the weed and get high. I said peace, tranquility.
What's going on? What's going on? Welcome back, YouTube, to another edition of Human Resources, brought to you by Day Fighters, which is also brought to you by the Blue Light Lounge, man. I am Desmond Bonet.
I am Lade.
Today, man, I'm a little out there explaining, man. This video done went viral. It's been everywhere. So if this ain't the first time you're hearing about it, I'm pretty sure you done seen it.
Yeah, thanks, D. So we got this video from Dallas. It's from True Restaurant and Cocktails. It's by the owner. He's talking to the customers, as you would call it, the people who are eating at the restaurant, you know, the guests, etc., etc. Apparently, there were some girls, you know, having a little too much fun, and that's when things went left. So, we're going to play the clip, and you know we're going to do our due diligence.
Yes, sir.
I invested a lot of money into buying this building, into developing this concept, so black people can have somewhere nice to go to, okay? Somewhere where we can feel good about ourselves and think, come on, stop the music, please. Somewhere where our people can feel good about ourselves as a culture, okay? Yeah, no, real talk. And so all this twerking and shit, taking the crime, taking the pink, don't bring it here because we're a restaurant. And so beyond that, 75% of my customers are ladies. And I want men to show respect for themselves for how they carry themselves here. So how can I tell the men to respect themselves and you guys are twerking on glass here? If you want to do it, get the fuck out my restaurant. Because I did it for our people and I did it for our culture. So don't do it now. Don't do it again. I don't want to hear it. If you don't like it, get out because I don't need your money. I need to provide something for my people. And don't do it again. Thank you.
If anybody saw just a longer clip, you hear some women at the end asking for their check. If you see some parts that happen towards the beginning and early of the video, you see some girls against the glass twerking. I don't know if it's one, I don't know if it's two, whatever. You see girls twerking. There's been a lot of controversy based on the owner's delivery.
Mm-hmm.
And some people think that he didn't handle it right. You know, some people think that.
But they were saying he was rude. He didn't choose the right words.
Yeah, exactly, etc., etc. Yep.
I wanna first start off by stating something that should be the obvious. Number one, he is the owner of that restaurant, of that business, right? So if I have a restaurant that's my own, I worked hard to, you know, build whatever I'm building. We all have a certain look. We all have a certain environment, you know, a feel, a vibe of what we see, you know, whatever it is that we're working on. So I just want to start off by saying that it's his business, which means he probably worked hard to provide a certain environment for people to come and, you know, vibe out and chill out, eat some of the food. So if that's not a part of your vision, I think that right there, he has every right to say what he said, because it's his business. It's not like he's just an employee there. It's not like he's just another customer eating who's just chiming in. No, this is his space, and he doesn't want this in his space that he's, you know, providing for everyone. So that's the first thing I will say. Number two, I don't agree with, me personally, I don't agree with putting someone on blast like that and kind of making a show out of it. But on the other hand, in 2020, you can't really help that. People's gonna pull out phones, and certain things is gonna touch the internet. So I will say that I don't agree with how he said it as far as putting them on blast. But going back to something I'm pretty sure a lot of parents done told us, when they get that belt out and they go to work and it's gonna hurt you more than it's hurting me. I honestly believe that in this sense he might have, and this, I could be wrong, I don't know this guy, I never had a conversation. If this was me, this is me putting myself in his shoes. If this was me, I wouldn't want to go about it this way. But throughout, not history of years and years, I just mean throughout this year and ever since twerking has become like this crazy thing, going back and looking at that, this might have been the best way for them to, I guess, get a response from it. To, you know, all right, we can't do this here. How many kids do we know who do bad things all the time? You tap their hand, yo, then I tell you don't do that. You do it in public. Then I tell you don't do that. They do it again. You yell at them crazy in front of everybody.
Yeah.
They might get sad. They might cry in the corner, but they don't do it again.
Yeah.
Might not agree with the approach, but sometimes certain approaches that be the only ones to work.
It's almost like that one bad apple kind of spoils the crowd kind of thing, you know. Because I mean, even though there were some people there, majority is women. They're enjoying the establishment, you know, and they're not twerking, but they have to get the message, you know, through to everybody. What I would have done professionally is I would have went to that table or went to that group and talked to them respectively, and then I would have issued a statement on my website or on my social media feed and say this is not allowed and here's why it's not allowed, or did a video on social media or on this website saying these things aren't allowed and this is why it isn't allowed, because I've worked up a reputation that I do not want to ruin. You know, I want it to be known as an upscale establishment. You know, I don't really go out to eat, you know, but I know, like, if people go to Mr. Child's, you know, or people go to Steak 48, you know, or you go to a high-class Italian restaurant, you know, do you see women twerking there? Like, I don't know, you know, fill me in, guys, fill me in. Do you see people, you know, and you can't say gender roles with this particular thing, because the main topic is twerking, first of all, and second, he did say if he holds the men accountable, then he has to hold the females accountable as well. So,
and he stated that his the majority of his customers are more female than there are men.
Correct.
So, for somebody to even be thinking like that, like, you know, majority of my customers is women. I don't want the men looking at them crazy or nothing like that. I think, and my fault to cut you off, I think that's where, like, the misconception happened. People, this is where accountability comes in. People pay attention to the wrong shit, in my opinion. If you have an argument with somebody, they can say a million things, a million truthful things that make sense. And because that person is not ready to take accountability, they hone into whatever one little thing that they don't agree with, and they just focus on that. And I feel like that's what the world did. They focused on how he did it versus what was actually being done. And this isn't. My bad, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I was going to say maybe the tone wasn't to their liking, so that's why the delivery came off wrong. You know. So that's probably why it went viral the way it did, you know. So
only thing I was gonna say is I also, the reason why I'm not super, and no, it's not just because I'm a man, but the reason why I didn't get super offended is because I come from a certain era of where certain elders are allowed to talk to you in a certain manner. That's just what it was. So when I seen the video, that was one of my initial thoughts. Like, this is like a father figure. Not saying that he knows them or nothing like that, but this is like a father figure trying to speak to the youth that's engaged in whatever it is that's.
Of course. You know, I mean, me personally, when I go out to eat, even if it's in a lounge setting, like there's a lounge area for people to dance and stuff like that, you know, obviously I'm not a female, obviously. But I'm not out of my seat in a corner dancing and, you know, whoop 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 whoop. You know, I'm not doing none of that. I'm enjoying my meal. I'm enjoying the energy around me, you know, family, friends, etc. And we're having a good time. When it's time to get up and go dance, it's the dance floor. We slide to the left, slide to the right. We dance, enjoy ourselves, come back. You know, and I think that's the same. That's the same thing he was trying to establish for his business. When you go, whoever they go to juniors, you know what I'm saying? They don't be twerking in juniors, and not to say, you know, high class, low class, but I'm just putting different scenarios to see. We don't do that, you know, and I think we forget there's a certain place in the time for everything, you know, and it was, you know, it came off in its delivery. Go to prom, go to this, go to that, if you really want to dance, because they allow that there. They're comfortable with doing that there. But he doesn't want to be known for that, you know. And there have been restaurants here that have been known for partying and stuff like that, and they have been getting violations because of the neighborhood they're in. Look what happened to Woodlands, that's near the Barclays Center. They closed down, you know, because the community, you know, called the cops, and they got a lot of complaints, and they had to shut that thing down. That was like a club in it. It was a restaurant and a club, and I'm pretty sure that when they first opened, that wasn't their initial, you know, thought. You know, we're gonna make this, you know, like a club. We want to just have a restaurant, and we want to provide music, and everybody have a great time. You know, it's the same thing like probably going to Sweet Chick. You know, like when you go to Sweet Chick, do you twerk, and do you just enjoy your chicken and waffles? It's a time and a place for everything.
Chicken and waffles is fire there, by the way. Super fire. I just had to say that. This is not a plug, no sponsor or nothing.
You spicy? Got it.
I got it. I see what you did there.
Got it. Everybody spicy. Well, if you have any comments, if you disagree, if you agree, comment it below. I think we got to the gist of this video. And don't forget to hit the like, comment, and just subscribe, support.
Yes, sir, man. Let's get these subscribers up, man. We still got this 200 subscriber or follower giveaway, man. We have not forgotten about it. Let's get to this, man. Last thing I want to say is it's a time and place for everything. And if you own something, you're entitled to have your own vision of how you see it. That's all I'm saying.
Until the next one, guys. Peace.